against the New York judge presiding over President-elect Donald Trump's hush money case on Friday set sentencing for 10 days before his January 20 inauguration, and said that he was not inclined to impose jail time. Judge Juan Merchan said Trump, the former president, convicted of a crime, can appear either in person or virtually at his January 10 sentencing. Trump is expected to lodge an appeal that could potentially delay his sentencing. Trump was convicted in New York in May of 34 counts of falsifying business records to cover up a hushed money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels on the eve of 2016 election to stop her from revealing an alleged sexual encounter that they had in 2006. I'm joined by Andrew Latham, professor of political science in Macalester College. He's also a political analyst. Mr. Latham, no jail term for Donald Trump, but what does the conviction before the inauguration really mean to the president?
Well, it's politically damaging, obviously. There's no jail time involved, no fine, no probation even. So in that respect, he's let off the hook, but still found guilty. The judge refused to vacate the decision of the 12 jurors to find him guilty. And so this is more now, I think, a political issue rather than a strictly legal issue for Donald Trump.
And what would you say really about the timing of this, conviction, the timing of this whole incident, as one would say?
Yeah, the timing is kind of determined by the regular sort of schedule of courts. The judge, Merchan, has tried to put it off as long as possible, but it's still going to happen just before Donald Trump is formally inaugurated as president again of the United States. I'm not sure the judge had a lot of wiggle room here, a lot of leeway. I think the timing is not political in that respect. The timing is simply a function of the way the courts work in New York.
Mr. Latham, Donald Trump has criticized the ruling on his social media platform, calling it a rigged charade and labeling the judge a radical partisan. Would you say that he is frustrated right now with the day coming near and he facing sentencing?
Well, I'm sure he is frustrated. I'm sure that his allegation on his social media platform, Truth Social, I'm sure he feels like he's being subjected to lawfare, the term of art here in the United States these days, using the courts to pursue political projects. But it has to be said that he was found guilty on the merits of the case of 34. I think that was overdone, obviously, but he was found guilty. And now the only question is, what price will he pay? Well, two questions. What price will he pay legally and politically? Legally, it seems like there's no price to pay. He's not going to jail. He's not going to be fined. He's not going to be subject even to probation, which would be the minimal thing. But politically, this has got to hurt. Now, having said that, he can't run for election again, so it can't hurt his re-election bid. He's going to be sworn in as president in a few weeks. But he's clearly annoyed and irritated by the way in which this case has been handled and the way in which this case has been publicized in traditional media, but also social media these days. A despicable First Amendment violation is the way he's characterized it. I think that's overstating the case, but I can understand how he is frustrated by this outcome.
Mr. Latham, he will be taking office, he will be taking the oath of office as a convicted felon. How do people in America look at it?
Well, this is a very polarized country at the moment, and some people will view this as nothing more than lawfare. This is an unjust, highly politicized legal outcome. And the other half of the country will look at this and say, really? This is the first time in American history that a convicted felon has been sworn into office as President of the United States, the highest office in the country. So it really, where you stand depends on where you sit, I suppose. If you're pro-Trump, you view this as nothing more than lawfare. If you're anti-Trump, you view this as a horrible outcome in the sense that we have a convicted felon soon to be President of the United States.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Latham, for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your views on this very important story we are reporting at this hour.